Hi, I'm astrologer Penny Dix and welcome to yet another Astrobite. And the Astrobite today, March the 5th, Wednesday, is about our planet of communication, our planet of thinking. And it is sextiling, which is super helpful, and we do need some super helpful aspects at the moment. It's sextiling Pluto. Now, Pluto is our planet of transitioning, of enormous change, of empowering. I feel discussions can take place today that help to empower the other in whatever form that takes, whether that's on a personal level or on the world stage. You see, Pluto is at 3 degrees of Aquarius. It's just in Virgin territory. It's just moving away from areas or into areas it's never been before. Mercury in Aries, preparing soon to go retrograde. Mercury is finding much more fire and power in the sign of Aries to get one's point across. Now, interestingly, in the event chart, Mercury is sitting in the 10th house. So it is very much about, I feel, what is going on the world stage. And Pluto is sitting quietly and out of the way in the 8th house, looking at other people's money, joint finances, and finances in general, and suggesting that unless we all get our acts together and find compromise in finding the right way through to get to the point where there is some kind of cohesive agreements on the way forward, that if we don't, there is going to be turmoil with the financial markets, because people will be too gung-ho. They'll get frightened and they'll sell and cause a real wobble in the markets. So Mercury sextiling Pluto is really quite important because, you know, thinking about what we've been going through over the last few days, it really does kind of encourage people to be a little bit more circumspect and to take a step back. And even though each side needs to be assertive and state their needs and desires, etc., that Pluto there is saying, let's meet in the middle. Let's find the way to transform. Think outside the box. Pluto's in Aquarius saying, see the bigger picture. Everybody, don't get caught in the minutiae, in the detail. Which is interesting because, of course, we've got a full moon in Virgo, a full moon lunar eclipse coming soon, which is really going to kind of emphasize our ability to get caught in details and go down rabbit holes that we don't need to go down. We need to look to the future, and that's what Pluto is really asking us all to do, whether it's on a personal level or on the world stage. Look to the future. That's where we're going. We're not going that way. Let's just clean page. Let's forget about what happened last week, whatever that means for you. And let's say, how can we change this? How can we make this work? How can we make all of this move forward in a way that gives birth to the best way forward for the highest good of all? Because it has to be for the highest good of all. If it's not, then it will fail. The moon is in Gemini today. So the moon is coming in and backing up the need for serious communication and for actually communicating with it's like each government leader needs to go back to their government and say, look, this is what we're presenting. What do you think? Because the collective ideas and thoughts and kind of brains that can come together for the solutions of the way forward, for the way things, for instance, are working out in Europe, and its relationship with the United States, with Canada, with Australia, with the Far East, with China, with Russia, then there has to be communication. And I think that what has been unfolding in the last few days is and can be seen when we look back on it as a pivotal turning point towards people finding an alternative and better way to deal with business, and to not get caught into the mudslinging that can happen in these situations. It's very easy to react when we get wound up. And I think this sextile from Mercury to Pluto is saying you transform the energy. Now remember, take this on a personal level as well, with whatever might be happening in your personal life. Transforming the energy takes place if we are also able to see the bigger picture. Pluto in Aquarius saying, please see the bigger picture. Look forwards. You're not going that way, you're going that way. And that way, we can actually get to a place where we can all have the benefit of moving forward cohesively together. Now, I don't know if any of this is making sense, because I'm kind of sort of, I'm probably going off on a sort of a bit of kind of imaginative kind of rhetoric, a hangover of Mercury in Pisces. But the sun is still in Pisces. And the sun today is trining Mars. So Mars is kind of coming up from the depths of Cancer and the home and saying, look, Mars is saying, I rule Aries. Therefore, I rule the conversation that is taking place between Mercury and Pluto. Therefore, as the god of war, and I don't want war because I value my home and my family, please, guys, find a way to meet in the middle. So if on a personal level you have been having difficulties, problems with people that you're close to, bearing in mind Venus is now retrograde, and Venus and Mercury are going to meet up soon. They're going to have their own conjunction. And this is going to bring, and let me just tell you what date that is on. It's actually on the 11th of March. So very soon they are going to be conjunct. There is a wonderful opportunity this month to repair relationships and friendships that may have drifted apart, gone sour. You may think, I don't know why that went wrong, or why they are not wanting to talk to me. I don't know what I did do or didn't do. So this Mercury-Venus conjunction, which we're getting closer to, kind of with this kind of introduction, if you like, from Mercury sextiling Pluto, is kind of saying, I'm laying the foundations, I'm laying the groundwork for you to find the way back in difficult situations with others, to repair. Venus is about repairing, relating, remembering, reminding, remembering the good times, remembering how things used to be and can be again. And so I think we can take this on two levels, so that if we can kind of see this simultaneously as being in our own personal lives, with whatever might have been unfolding, but also with what's unfolding on the world stage, there is always a way back we don't have to act out the sins of our fathers. We don't have to take the same routes that were taken, say, in the 1940s. We don't have to do that. Surely we've all learned something, haven't we? So I do feel we will see in the news today a kind of confirmation of progress and agreement and transformation of an agreement. I think that America and Ukraine will talk again and they will resolve their differences. That's what I feel is around. That may have already happened on Tuesday, the day I'm recording this. It may happen on Wednesday or Thursday, but by the end of the week, I think last week's debacle will be a thing of the past. And it can be that way for you on a personal level too. But remember, somebody has to make the first move. We always have to step up and say it how it is. Make the first move. You know, sometimes if we make the first move, we can be pleasantly surprised. So you see, the word I chose for today is quite interesting because it's diplomacy. Because sometimes it feels as if diplomacy gets lost. And I think that we also have to use diplomacy on a personal level. Let's forget about the world stage at the moment. They need to sort it out for the rest of us. We've voted them in. We have to trust that they will do what is for the highest good of us all. We have to. We have to have faith. Otherwise, we just disintegrate into anarchy. So diplomacy, negotiation, peaceful resolutions in politics, leadership, daily life. Danielle Vare said, diplomacy is the art of letting someone else have your way. Interesting. Diplomacy is the art of letting someone else have your way. I like that. Sun Tzu said, the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. And that's a lovely, lovely way of putting it. Will Durant said, to say nothing, especially when speaking, is half the art of diplomacy. Ronald Reagan, he said, peace is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means. And that has to be true, doesn't it? Bo Bennett said, diplomacy is more than saying or doing the right things at the right time. It is avoiding saying or doing the wrong things at any time. John F. Kennedy said, let us never negotiate out of fear, but let us never fear to negotiate. Barack Obama said, the ability to compromise and negotiate is one of the greatest strengths of any leader. Indira Gandhi said, you cannot shake hands with a clenched fist. Thucydides, well, I can't pronounce his name, I think he's probably Greek, said, the strong do what they can and the weak suffer what they must. Diplomacy is what balances this reality. Yeah, I guess. And Robert Frost takes a bit more of a humorous look at diplomacy and says, a diplomat is a man who always remembers a woman's birthday, but never remembers her age. Oh yes, that's cool. I like that. I think we can run with that one, can't we? So Listen, guys, thank you for joining me for yet another Astrobite. You wouldn't believe the trouble I've had recording this. My other mobile phone camera, there's something wrong with it. So this is my old mobile phone camera. Not that there'll probably be any difference, but then the cats decided to play up. Then everything just went from bad to worst. And do you know it's taken me an hour and a half to record one Astrobite of 15 minutes long? It's interesting. I don't mind because I like to get it right. But I just thought I'd give you a little bit of an insight into sometimes what happens in my day. And I've had to be very diplomatic with myself and not throw my phone at the wall because it's expensive and I don't want to do that. But it may be telling me it's time to think of upgrading it. But then I think they have these built-in kind of timers on them, don't they? Where after a certain amount of time, if you don't renew it, they start to not work so well. Well, what can I say? There we are. So please remember to like, comment and subscribe. And remember, if you would like to have a session with me, you have to email me directly at penny@pennydix.com. Just go to my website. A natal session is, a first session is always the same price. So a first session is what it is. A second session is seen as a follow-up and subsequent. So if you would like to have a session with me, and many of you got in touch recently, and we've spoken and arranged things, and that's great, and it's all in process. So just let me know, and I'm sure I can fit you in the next month or so. That's the way it seems to be going at the moment. So thanks ever so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you yet again for another Astrobite very soon. Bye for now.